Welcome to another section of weekly fitness and bodybuilding news, which are actually monthly. Let's start with Ángel Calderón. The Spanish 212 champion is back and he's made this physique update that left me stunned. What definition? He has no fat. Calderón is peeled. He's about to compete. Where will he show up? He'll compete at the Empro now that it has a 212 category. He'll go to Portugal. He'll have to face Madelman. My god, this is very interesting. I'd love to see them go head to head. Calderón is impressive in terms of definition, hardness and quality. There's no doubt that he's amazing with huge chest and shoulders, but then you also see some pretty serious weaknesses. For abs, calves and arms, we'll see how he performs in competition and how things go for him this year. The one behind him is Fran Espina, his coach, and guess what? Yes, Fran Espina has been posing and training with Behrouz. I didn't expect this from the great Espinosorio. What's he doing with Behrouz? The man with the belly, the croissant belly. They're with the bodybuilding coach. Can you imagine if Fran preps him and he competes? I don't think so. That's for poor people, as he says. William Martins is a gigantic Brazilian bodybuilder, and I'm showing him to you because I went to the cardiologist, something all bodybuilders should do. And the tests obviously weren't very encouraging. They measured his blood pressure, did an ultrasound, checked his heart, measured it, so to speak, and he has significant hypertrophy in it. It doesn't function properly. His markers are pretty bad, and the doctor told him that his heart functions like that of a 60-year-old man aside from the hypertrophy issue. Even so, he'll keep doing what he does, and we'll see how far he gets. Some people react worse to the chemicals, others take more. Every body is different, and this gentleman hasn't reacted well. Let's talk about Chris Bumstead. It looks like he's injured himself again. How many times has Chris Bumstead been injured now? And he's not even that active. His legs, several times. His back, his biceps, now his triceps. It was a minor tear during a very intense triceps workout, and it wasn't serious as such. The whole muscle or tendon didn't rupture. But it was a warning, and he has to listen to it. Now he's training, well, with resistance bands, doing these kinds of exercises. I find it pretty ironic how he's been training functionally for a while to avoid injuries, to prevent injuries and all that, and he injured his quadriceps a few months ago doing sprints, and now his triceps. Funny, isn't it? Come on, his mega super cool training, which was supposed to prevent this, has already caused him 2 injuries. Do you know who Dave Palumbo is? Me neither, that's normal. Well, he's a former bodybuilder and a pretty famous bodybuilding commentator. I've rarely heard him make sense, so when he finally does, we have to mention it. He discussed issues in women's bodybuilding, saying there should be weight limits by height, like in classic, to prevent overly muscular physiques. Some women now look almost like open competitors. He then suggested something I find fascinating, merging this category with the open ones, like Miss Olympia and the major competitions. Honestly, there's little difference between them, and there are too many women's categories. He also says Natalia Coelho, the women's winner, could build more muscle and compete for the open title. And honestly, I'm with you, Dave. For the first time in my life, I support you completely. I really hope it happens. Let's talk about a passing. Every news section seems to have one, and in this case, it's Bill Grant. This bodybuilder with such a sculpted physique, he looks like a statue. He was a bodybuilder from the 80s and 90s, and we have to say he lasted a long time, because he left us at 80 years old with this spectacular physique. There are men of that age who can barely even walk or get up from a chair. They have major problems. And luckily this man, for as long as he lasted, it seems he did so with good independence, a good physique, strength, and that's really great. Let's go with some bodybuilder physique updates. This is Kendall Richmond. I've already featured him on the channel because supposedly, according to him and the association, he's natural. In fact, he's an IFBB while being natural. He's one of the top ones. He has stated that he's supposedly at 3% body fat. I don't know, that seems a bit exaggerated to me, but it's true that he's very shredded. And this is his current condition. He's 2 weeks away from competing and says he thinks he's reached his natural potential, that he's never been this shredded before. And honestly, his physique is incredible. The striations, the cuts, the depth, the separation, incredible. If you're really natural, you're a prodigy. I can already see the comments saying natural from Wakanda. Let's move on to another one. Mike Sommerfeld Michelangelo. No. What happened to you? Alopecia. He shaved his head. Now, how is he going to fake his weight? How are they going to measure him over his hair if he doesn't have any? This is the physique update he shared, where as always he looks monstrous for a classic. And since I know it really bothers him when people say it, he has a 212 or open physique, he's preparing for Mr. Olympia 2026 and won't compete before then. He has plenty of time to prepare and shed the Olympia look. We'll see if he does it. Next update, since we mentioned him earlier, Madelman. The other day I posted some of his poses and now he's shared several more. The front double biceps, spectacular. What a shape. Something about his arms seems off to me. Even though he's posing from the side, I notice a slight asymmetry. I hope he doesn't get mad at me for saying that. The side chest, spectacular. Look how full it looks. Here his arms do look great, and what a massive leg. And from the back, I have to say I was really surprised. Such density and a 3D effect, much improved. This year, Madelman will make a big impact in 212. We're seeing his best form yet, and the coaching change has clearly benefited him. Next physique update. Behrouz Tabani, Iranian bodybuilder. He's about a week away from competing at the Empro. We're going to have him in Spain. Yes, he's coming to Spain to compete, and I think he could easily win the competition. I'll analyze the competitors and make some predictions in another video. I also see him slightly improved. It's true that he's a bodybuilder who improves very slowly, but he does it steadily and consistently. I think he's a bit bigger than in other updates from previous years when I've seen him. What this guy does is incredible, because all his poses look super aesthetic, and in all of them he looks very big and very defined. He practically doesn't have a weak pose. I find it incredible that he has those proportions, that waist, that aesthetic look, that X-frame. I really like his physique in current bodybuilding and can't wait to see him compete. Now let's talk about someone who gives me doubts. Quinton, Eria, who's about to compete at the Toronto Pro. Could this be the time he finally wins and qualifies for the Olympia? Well, I don't know, because it's true that it looks like he's going to come in shredded, not like other times, but at what cost? Because his torso is insane, his arms are savage. But I feel like his legs aren't on the same level. They seem behind his torso. Maybe it's the photos, angles, or just my impression. But I think it's both from the front and the back. He needs more thigh, and his calf is almost as big as his thigh. That's something very uncommon and hard to see. And this is Kyle, the bodybuilder with Down syndrome. Not only is he an amateur and competes, but now he's going for the pro card. And hey, that's really great. Let him fight for his dreams. If he wants to compete and shows muscle mass, does a cut and comes in shredded, that's perfect. Why not? I don't like how much favoritism he gets, always appearing on the Olympia page and doing cerca exposing with Mr. Olympias because of it. I'm afraid they'll show favoritism when it comes to giving him the pro card just out of pure goodwill. I hope not, and that they're fair. Let's finish with this guy, Jake Leonard. Better known as Latman, the backman. He has a pretty good physique, honestly. The guy is big, he's very broad, and has good definition. I like it, but we're not here to see his posing. We're here for his incredible acrobatics. It's been a while since I brought him up. He does breakdancing, and well, he does all kinds of flips. And it's impressive that with this physique he can do backflips, do the splits, and get up, or better said, fly, with such ease. As if he weighed 50 or 60 kilos, but the guy is huge. He must weigh 90 or 100. Defying stereotypes. I encourage you to check out the channel. I have a lot of interesting content. And if you're from Spain and want supplements at a good price, I'm bringing you a 10% discount at masmusculo.com with the link in the description of this video and the pinned comment, code ARIS. That's all. I'm signing off. See you in the next video.